Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Our coverage of the Steam winter sale rolls on, and we are going to be doing our first deals video in this video, particularly looking at the games under the price of $2. There's a lot of good stuff that is heavily discounted, and a lot of stuff that is worth your money for sure. So definitely some good titles to pick up. And we'll be going through all of that under $2. So these are some super cheap games. So let's get right into it. If you got a couple bucks to spare, you can get some great stuff. And Castle Crashers, 90% off for $1.49. In my opinion, one of the best deals across this entire sale. Castle Crashers is a timeless classic, an absolute joy of a game to play. And I feel like a game that kind of goes with the vibes of the holidays. Like, I don't know, you're in a festive mood, you're in good vibes and good spirits, and Castle Crashers is one of those games that I just feel like accentuates that greatly. Obviously, even more so if you have a group of friends to play the game with, and you can play with your friends, and it's a great action beat 'em up. It's humorous, and the art style is this cartoony look, so it's kind of aged gracefully, honestly, even being 12 plus years old. It's a classic, and especially if you have a group of friends to play with, and that's how you're gonna get the best experience possible. Link them the game. It's $1.49. It's well worth it. Definitely do check that out. Next up, I mentioned this yesterday, but Tales from the Borderlands 90% off for $1.99 is a fantastic deal. So what happened with this game was, I believe Telltale lost the licensing rights to Tales from the Borderlands, and then it got pulled for a while. Remember when Telltale got shut down and everything like that? Then 2K got the rights to Tales from the Borderlands, and then it got relisted onto the Steam store. I might be wrong as far as the actual timeline of events there, but the release date on Steam notes February 16, 2021. This game came out well before 2021. Tales from the Borderlands is a great game, a marriage of the Telltale style of storytelling with Borderlands, and it turns out to be a pretty comedic game, and its comedy actually hits. I think that's some of the issues with Borderlands of today, is that, you know, a lot of the comedy just doesn't click a lot of the times, but for $1.99, Tales from the Borderlands is great. Definitely a worthwhile title there. Killing Floor 2, 95% off for $1.49. We just talked about Castle Crashers being this great joy of a co-op title. Killing Floor 2 is exactly that as well. Over-the-top action mayhem, zombie slaying game. Get a couple of friends, you'll have a good time with that. Co-op action here, and definitely a worthwhile time, especially if you got a group of friends to play with. Great weapons and some great gameplay to be had there. Mirror's Edge, 90% off for $1.99. I am a fanboy when it comes to Mirror's Edge. I love Mirror's Edge. I played it back in 2008 when it came out on consoles, 360 and PS3. Had a great time there. It's such a unique game, but I could totally understand why. To an audience in the fall of 2008, Mirror's Edge just didn't click. Back then, fall of 08, you want to know what people were into? People were into their Halo 3s, their COD 4s, COD World at Wars. That was the era where first-person shooters were just taking off, and that's like the only thing eventually developers started making. But Mirror's Edge was this really unique action parkour game that worked really well, and it was so unique in terms of its design. There were interesting playthroughs done where, you know, people were doing pacifist runs and whatnot, and this game is totally built on the parkour gameplay and the platforming, and that's really well done. Yeah, you can use a gun, but that's not the way I feel you get the most satisfying experience. For $1.99, Mirror's Edge absolutely should be in your library. It's a great game, definitely. Do check that out, and check out Catalyst as well. I actually think that game is fairly good. Couple of titles that I feel like 90% of you have. Portal 2 and Left 4 Dead 2. Honestly, let's up that number to 98%. $1.99 for Portal 2. Definitely do check that out. It's a great puzzle game. And Left 4 Dead 2, much like Killing Floor 2, awesome over-the-top action mayhem co-op title. You gotta have a group of friends for Left 4 Dead 2, I feel. That's how you're gonna get the best experience possible. But, man, both those games are fantastic. Definitely do check those out, and worthwhile time investment there. Batman Arkham Origins, 90% off for $1.99. The forgotten Batman Arkham game, at least forgotten by a lot of people, but Arkham Origins is a legit really good game done by WB Games Montreal, who more recently did the Gotham Knights title, so I know that doesn't inspire a lot of confidence in terms of, you know, Gotham Knights not the best received game in the world, but Gotham Knights is still decent in my opinion, and Batman Arkham Origins came out well before Gotham Knights, and I thought it was a pretty solid Arkham title. Again, not at the level of the mainline Arkham trilogy, but still a solid Arkham adventure, and I will say, it's quite a bit better than Suicide Squad, if nothing else. So we got to take the small W's when we can. For $1.99, I think Batman Arkham Origins is well worth it. Do check that out. Next up, we got The Walking Dead Season 1. I mean, what more can I say about Walking Dead Season 1 that I and many others haven't already said? It's a tremendous game, and in my opinion, Walking Dead does peak with Season 1 in terms of the Telltale series. Honestly, you could make an argument that the show peaks at Season 1. The show probably peaks at Season 2. The Barn, oh my god. Season 2 was the peak of the Walking Dead show, but Season 1 was the peak of Walking Dead, the Telltale series. And Season 2 and Walking Dead, the Telltale series is really good as well. Not as good as Season 1, but still quite good. Season 1 is just an emotional roller coaster, up and down, twists and turns. It's just so good and emotionally captivating. Definitely do check it out, and definitely worthwhile for $1.49. Even if you're not the most into narrative-driven games, this is one that, for this price point, just give it a shot. I think it'll hook a lot of you guys, unless you just completely care about gameplay only. It's a point-and-click narrative-driven adventure game. Like, it is what it is as far as that's concerned. But for $1.49, good deal. And then they do have the Telltale Starter Pack on sale, which is Seasons 1 through 4. That's $11.89 if you do want to get, you know, all the seasons on top of that. Inside is 90% off for $1.99, done by Playdead, who also did Limbo. Inside is another incredibly atmospheric, stylistic puzzle platformer. Some really cool puzzles in the game, and I'm not a big puzzle guy, but I feel like this game from a design standpoint was really well done, and aesthetically and atmosphere, that's really what this game is drawing people in with. I feel like from that standpoint, it is done incredibly well. $20 might be a little bit pricey for a game like this, but when it's down to $1.99, I mean, no-brainer there. Definitely do check it out. Next up, I do want to give a mention to Hello Games' The Last Campfire. Now, these days, Hello Games obviously known for their work on No Man's Sky and continually updating that game, and they're doing a tremendous job with that game. However, they did also, like, kind of stealthily release another game back in 2021, Last Campfire, an adventure, a story of a lost ember trapped in a puzzling place. Great art style, charming look, not a super lengthy game, but if you want more of a cute game to go through, for $1.49, definitely a good shout there. Next up, we have VVVVVV. I got enough V's in there. Platforming, precision platformer. It's fun. It's incredibly addictive. I wouldn't be spending a lot of money on it, but for $1.24, what you will be spending quite possibly is a lot of time on it, because it can be fairly addictive. For $1.24, again, great price there. Definitely check that out. F.E.A.R 1 is down 80% off for $1.99. Now, you can get the F.E.A.R Complete Pack for $5.49. That's not a bad pickup. That includes F.E.A.R 2, F.E.A.R 2 Reborn's DLC, F.E.A.R 3, and F.E.A.R Extraction Point. All that for $5.49 is pretty decent, but F.E.A.R Ultimate Shooter Edition, $1.99, throwback action horror title. I feel like the vibes in this game were a little bit stronger than F.E.A.R 3. F.E.A.R 2 did the horror element and the atmosphere really well as well, but F.E.A.R 1, even though it's been a long time since I played it and the game came out back in 2005, as a throwback FPS, I do think it's a worthwhile game to go through, so check that out. Might be a worthwhile pickup there. Hitman Absolution, $1.99 on this. I rave about Hitman Absolution. I think this game is super underrated as an action stealth title. It was actually one of the very first games I played on PC, getting my gaming PC, and it came out in 2012. I don't remember... let's just say I spent $60 on it, because back then your boy may have been, but your boy was a little bit younger and he didn't have disposable income, so, but I remember really enjoying Hitman Absolution, had a great time with it. I gotta go back and give this another playthrough at some point, but yeah, as an action stealth title, quite good. Visuals, I remember when this game came out, I was like blown away by it playing it on a PC. These days, you know, it's not gonna be blow away, but from a gameplay standpoint, it's still gonna be worthwhile to go through, and for $1.99, this is a great deal. I should note there is the Hitman Collection, which is $3.60. That includes Hitman, Hitman 2, Hitman Blood Money, Hitman Absolution, and Hitman Contracts. All that for $3.60 is quite good, so that's an option as well. Firewatch, $1.99, another one of the absolutely awesome deals as a part of this sale. Firewatch is a great narrative-driven exploration game. totally reliant on its atmosphere, art design, sound direction, and story. Those elements are incredibly well done. More of an adventure walking sim style game, so, you know, your mileage may vary depending on how much you like those kinds of games, but I think Firewatch is a pretty damn good one. Ending, you know, that's an element of this game that is often criticized in terms of was it satisfying. I'll let you guys be the judge. It's still an incredibly worthwhile game to go through, and it's a fairly short game. In a world where we have so many big open world games, action RPGs, things of this nature, a 5-hour game, you know, like Firewatch, sometimes is exactly what the doctor ordered, and I feel like a lot of you guys will have a good time with this. Next up, we have Valley, $1.49 on this, an adventure exploration title, another one that's focused on the parkour gameplay, and some pretty cool visual aesthetics as well. Definitely in terms of the exploration and traversal, that's where this game shines, but for $1.49, I think you guys can have a good time with this. It came out back in 2016. Remember having a fairly decent experience with this. Not blow away, but another title to check out that a lot of you guys probably have missed out on. I'll give a shout out to Witcher 1. It's $1.49. I often say the same thing about this game. Witcher 1 hasn't aged the best. Let's just put it that way. This era of games, I feel like 2007, Steam says 2008, but that's when the director's cut came out. The 2007 games, Mass Effect 1, Uncharted 1, Witcher 1, three of my favorite franchises of all time, and I will say all three of those game franchises, their first game is in dire need of a remake. Mass Effect 1, I get they just did the Legendary Edition. Witcher 1 is getting a remake, and Uncharted 1 should get a remake. Witcher 1 is great. It's just, you know, it's gonna be aged a little bit. No controller support either, so keep that in mind, but you know, if you're a big Witcher fan and you already played Witcher 3, maybe you played Witcher 2, circle back and play Witcher 1. I wouldn't say that play this as your first Witcher game. I think that could be a little bit of a problem in terms of people being put off by how dated it is, but if you're already a fan and you've got an affinity towards Geralt as a character, that's going to carry you a lot of the way through, I feel. So for $1.49, not a bad deal. And then I do want to give a shout to Ken Follett's The Pillars of the Earth. This is more of a narrative-driven adventure game. You just make choices throughout. There's some QTEs and things of that nature. Very much story-driven, but I vibe with these story-driven games set in 12th century England in a time of poverty and war. A small town begins the construction of a cathedral to claim wealth and safety for its people in their struggle to survive. Lives and destinies intertwine, based on Ken Follett's world's bestseller, The Pillars of the Earth. So an adaptation as far as that's concerned. If you want a narrative-driven title and you're captivated by the setting, another game to check out. But that's going to do it for me. Again, as always with these Steam sales, just scratching the surface. There are so many deals. Even when you're talking about deals under $2, I might do another video. There's going to be a lot of coverage, so be on lock with everything. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.